Alright, so we're going to pick up with Prismoidal formula, doing volume by Prismoidal, and you'll see that called V sub P. So the Prismoidal formula applies to volumes of all geometric solids. This can be considered a Prismoidal. It is a solid having ends that are parallel but not congruent, and the trapezoidal sides that are not congruent. Most earthwork solids contained from cross-section data fits this. However, from a practical standpoint, the difference between the two volumes is so minute that it's negligible. So if you're trying to figure out an area, wouldn't it just be just as easy to do the average of one end, or take the area of one end, take the area of the second end, and then average them? But of course, surveying wise, they want you to know how to do both. Surveying wise, if this was an expensive rock, you would need to know how to do both. So, hence, that's why we're teaching this. So, where you need something extremely accurate, like expensive rock, we're going to use V sub P, which is volume by Prismoidal. Well, it's going to be V sub P equals L, and L is the distance from outside station to outside station. So for this particular one, it would be 100 feet. If I had to do an area in the middle, which is usually at 63 plus 50, don't misconstrue that and put 50 feet. So it's from outside station to outside station. Your area 1 and area 2, the L is between there. And then we would do, so V sub P, area 1 and area 2. And then we need to figure out an area in the middle. And area middle is not just the average of these two. Because again, then you're using averaged in. So we'd have to use cross sections to figure that out. And 6 is a constant, and then 27 is to convert it in cubic yards. If it was a metric one, the only thing you would drop off was the 27. 6 would still be in there if we're doing it in metric. That would be the formula. And then they get a Prismoidal correction. So if they actually do V sub P. So V sub P is called a Prismoidal correction, and this varies from books for route surveying. Gives formulas tables for computing it. So a Prismoidal correction, which provides accurate results for a 3-level section, would be C sub P, which is your Prismoidal. Your length, again, and it's going to be the length between the two stations. So that particular one would be 100. 12 times 27, 12 and 27 are constant. C1 and C2, they would be the cuts on the two outside ends. W1 and W2. W1 would be the width of the first area. And the width would be the total distance from left to right. So whatever the widest point is here, and whatever the widest point is here, that would be W2. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go through example 26.3, and then I'm going to work at one in the book that we did in class. So it says, compute the volume by Prismoidal by an averaged in for the following 3-level sections of a road base. The base is 24 and the slide slopes are 1.5 to 1. So this particular one, they went ahead and gave us all the data, the cross-section data you need. So if you see something written like this and they say 7, 8, 23, 7 and put a comma and then just say C at 5.3, that means that's 0. I think we had one of the problems like that. So this particular one, they gave us the cross-sections for the area in the middle. So all we had to do is plug and chug. Remember, we're going to use the area by a 3-level section. which is in the beginning of the chapter, which is page 780. So it's C equal, which is center, distance left plus distance right divided by 2, and then plus the base, height left plus height right divided by 2, or divided by 4, excuse me, and that'll get you an area. I've seen some mistakes that switch out the 2 and 4, don't do that. Or I've seen somebody figure the area here and forget to add the area here. So, and then there's the area in the middle. So we have an area 1, an area 2, 2 is the bottom, and area in the middle. So once you finish getting all 3 areas, then you can just plug them into the equation, and then we actually can get the prismoidal. So here we go for the prismoidal. You notice I was saying it was going to be 100 divided by 12 times 27. 5,3 would be the center cut here. 6,6 would be the center cut for 2. 46,7. Where that comes from is they add 23,7 to the left plus 23 to the right. So you've got a total width of 46,7. And then on 13, you have a 24,8 to the left and a 23,5 to the right for a total of 48,3. So in other words, you can see how they got the prismoidal correction. So I want to work one in the book because I want to show you that if you're not given an area in the middle, what can we do to get the area in the middle? All right, so I'm going to work, and this is problem page 797. Problem, and this is going to be like your online problem that'll be due first. 2621. They gave you station 89, and it gave us a C 3.1 at 24.3. It gave me a C, and it's 4.9 at 0, and a C 4.3 at 35.2. I'm going to scroll down and leave the little bit of area to do the one in the middle first. So, and then this is 88 here, so they did it backwards. C 6.4 over 34.2. 3.6 over 0, and C 5.7 over 32.1. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my cross sections for the area in the middle, because like here they gave it to us, this time they didn't give us to us. So we've got to determine what the cross sections would be in the middle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take an average. So I'm going to start with the center one. So this is going to be 88 plus 50. So if it's 0, I'm going to take an average of the 4,6 and the 3,6. So if I take an average, if I add the 2 and divide by 2, that's going to give me 4.25. Now when you go to the right and the left, you have to take an average of the 2 distances and then an average of the 2 cuts. So I'm going to do the cuts first. If I got a 3.1 and a 6.4, that'll give me 4.75. And then if I have a 24-3 and a 34-2, and I divide it by 2, that gives me 29.25. And then I'm going to do the right side, 4-3 and 5-7. That's 5. And I should put like a C there so you know these are in a cut section. And then my distance is going to be 35.2 plus 32.1. So I've got 67.3. Alright, so there's my cross section. So now I'm ready to go and start working with my formulas. So it also gave me my base is 30. So I'm going to write B equals 30. And then it wants us to solve V sub B and V sub P. And this is a cut one. So I'm going to use my formulas. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. So I'm going to do 89 first. For my cross section at 89, my C is 4.9. Distance left 24.3 plus distance right 35.2. And that's going to be divided by 2. Plus my base, which was given, it's 30. Distance left and right, or be 7.8, excuse me, height left and right, and 7.4 divided by 4. Yeah, base is 30. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and plug and chug, and I'm going to get my area for 89 first. And I would suggest putting these in a couple of times just to make sure. That you didn't fat finger something. Not so much maybe on homework you can check it, but a test I would. So I'm going to go ahead and write, I'm going to write what I got above this one. 145,775 above the top. And then I'll add the two together. And I got a 114 even. So make sure to add the two together, and that'll give you your area in square feet. So I got 259,775. And that would not be right. So let me back through and see what I actually wrote wrong. All right. So for 89, Go up to my notes. So it should be for 89. Four 9 in the center, 24 3, 35 2 divided by 2 plus 30 right there is my error. I have no idea where I got the 7 8. I must have been looking at, I was looking at the problem I pulled. Okay, so that's what I did wrong. So let me go back and let's fix that. Alright, so 30, and my distance left and right would be 3 1 plus 3 1 plus 4 3 divided by 4. Alright, so 3.1. So, like I said, I would double check my work, especially on a test, because it's just a simple problem that could go horribly wrong. So I would look it over. So now if I add those two together, 201.27, and they had 201, I had 201.275, they have 201.3. So I'm going to write 201.3, and that would be square feet. Alright, now I've got to do area. I'm going to do the area for 88. So 88 would be 3.6, 34.2 plus 32.1 all over 2 plus your base isn't changing, 30, 6.4 plus 5.7 over 4. Alright, we'll solve for those two. We got 119.34, and then I'm going to do the other side. I'm just breaking it down so I don't make a mistake. Add the two together. $210.09, and that would be correct. They called it, they put 210.1, so that would be, we'll call this one area 1, area 2. It doesn't matter which one you call area 1 or area 2, you're going to get the same. It would give you the same. Alright, so here's my cross sections for area in the middle. So I've got to do my area in the middle next. I'll see right there, I got a problem. Must have not divided by 2. Somebody already caught this, I'm sure. When I looked at that and realized that the 2 should be in between that, I just added the 2. You got to divide by 2. And double check it again. Yep, 33.65. Okay, so now I'm going to do the formula for that one. So this is going to be my area in the middle. I'm going to call it AM. So my center is 4.25. Left is 29.25. Right 33.65 divided by 2 plus 30, because that doesn't change. 4.75 plus 5, trying to squeeze that in on the paper, divided by 4. Alright, so I'm going to go up and we're going to solve this one. Okay, then we'll solve for the other. Add the 2 together. Okay, so that's my area in the middle. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and plug and chug those. I'm going to call that 206.8. So that'll be my AM. That'll be my A1. And that'll be my A2. So these are going to be my 3 numbers. So it doesn't matter if you get A1 and A2 backwards, it's not going to make a difference. The area in the middle definitely would, so you want to make sure, and it's always going to be squarely in the middle. So since this was 100 feet, it was 50. If it was 60 feet, you would be 30. So we're doing an area in the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back and use my formula right here. I have to scroll down at him. Hopefully I can get to the end. Okay, sorry, I'm having to put a little more page room for this one so I can write it in. Alright. Okay, so the formula, equation 24.3, I'm just going to scroll up to it for you right here. V sub P equals the length, area 1 plus 4, area in the middle, plus area 2, all over 6 times 27. Put it in cubic yards. It's 100. My area 1 is 210.1 plus 4 times area in the middle, and make sure I got my number right. 210.1, 206.8, 201.3. 206.8, 210.1, 201.3. Alright, so now I'm ready to plug and chug and get my volume by Prismoidal. Five, 7. So in the book they had V sub E and V sub P. They have 759.1. So it might be a difference around it, or they subtracted, I think they subtracted the Prismoidal correction factor. Alright, so if I need to do the C sub P, so of course, I'm going to scroll up so you can see the formula. It's going to be your length 100 divided by 12 times 27. C1 would be, and they do 89. 4.9 minus 3.6. And the width for the first one should be 59.5. And that's for the one at 89. And the width for 88 should be 66.3. So if we solve for that, you should be getting around a negative 2.7. So let me check my numbers. 59.5. So if I look at 89, the width to the left is 24.3. The width to the right is 35.2. 59.5 is correct. And then the one at 88 is 34.2 plus a 32.1. Okay, so that looks good. So if I put the numbers in, I got actually a 2.728, rounds up to 2.3. Alright, so if I ask you to solve this by averaged in, so the averaged in would just be area 1 plus area 2. So if I wanted you to do V sub E for the same problem, I'm going back up to this one right here. If I did area 1, area 2 divided by 2 times the length divided by 27, let's see what we get. So V sub E, area 1 plus area 2 divided by 2 times 100 divided by 27. So area 1 is 210.1 plus area 2, 201.3 divided by 2 times 100 divided by 27. Alright, let's check these numbers out. I got 761.8, and the book did have that. Okay, and you should be able to then subtract your prismoidal correction. So minus that 2.73, and it gives you a 759.1. And I got a 764.57. So I must have something in here wrong. I think we did it on the board, so I'll look back at it, but that would be typically how you should do it, and it should be within a tenth. So I'll double look at my numbers again. Well, I'm going to come back and look at my center numbers again just to make sure I didn't get anything off there. Four, 2, 5, and 0, so that's good. Five. And that's good. I'm going to do the left side. I'm just double checking everything and making sure I have my area in the middle right. Because I know my end two areas are perfect. So I'm just checking to make sure I didn't have something wrong for the area in the middle. Nope, everything looks good. So let me make sure I got my numbers right. 4.75, 24.25, 4.25, 5, and 33.65. So let's see if I've got this written. 4.25, 29.25, 33.65 divided by 2, plus 30. 4.75 plus 5 divided by 4. Check my numbers. Okay, I agree with the first one. agree with my area, so I'm agreeing with all that. So let me check, make sure I have my area in the middle. It might just be the rounding because everything looks good. I'm just double checking my numbers. Nope, still getting the same thing. So must be if I'd have kept it all the way out instead of rounding, we would have came up with the exact same number if we would have done this C sub P and subtracted it. Subtracted from the volume by averaged in, we should have got exactly what the V sub P was. Alright, so that kind of gives you a start on your online, and I've just got a few other things I'll be adding.